Afternoon, welcome to the Joy Business Report. Coming up in the bulletin, Governor of the Bank of Ghana optimistic about cedi's outlook as he promises the central bank will take extra measures to deal with unexpected shocks and pressures. Also in this bulletin, former Chief Justice Sophia Akufo calls for establishment of lithium refinery before commencing mining of the mineral. We will tell you why. And National Insurance Commission announces 10 million target of new policyholders in 2024. These and many more shortly. Grateful for your company. I am Pius Kujobaka. Let's now look at our stories. Governor of the Bank of Ghana, Dr. Ernest Addison, has indicated that the central bank is taking extra measures to deal with unexpected shocks and pressures on the Ghana cedi in the coming weeks. It followed concerns that the cedi's fortunes could worsen in the coming weeks if the International Monetary Fund cash and cocoa loan syndication inflows should delay. But Dr. Addison says the reserve requirement has increased, as well as new forex measures taken in the first quarter of next year.
In a sense, we've been able to bring more stability to the system and not just depended on IMF resource flows. So, yes, if the bilateral creditors reach agreement early before the end of this year or first quarter of next year, we will all be happy. But if they don't, we think we can manage. That's all that I'm saying. And we are going to see the cocoa loan come in before the end of the year, and we would also get the second tranche of the IMF disbursement before the end of the year. So we should be able to manage at least over the next 6 months.
Bank of Ghana Governor Dr. Ernest Addison addressing the media during the Monetary Policy Committee meeting yesterday. Now, former Chief Justice Sophia Akufo is calling for the adoption of international best practices in lithium mining, which includes the construction of a lithium refinery before the commencement of the process to mine the mineral in the country. According to her, the current agreement between the Government of Ghana and Barari DV must be laid in Parliament for ratification. Justice Sophia Akufo is also a distinguished scholar at the Institute of Economic Affairs, further advocated a favorable mining agreement for the country. She has been speaking at a press conference organized by the IEA in Accra.
Mining raw lithium to manufacture of batteries and other products in Ghana. By current international best practice, a local refinery must be established even before extraction commences, so that there will be no excuse that we haven't finished building the refinery. Therefore, we are, as usual, exporting raw product for somebody to tell us what the value of the finished product is. And then we go and buy batteries from outside.
Former Chief Justice Sophia Akufo speaking there. Now, Energy Minister Dr. Matthew Puku-Prempeh says an ongoing 16.8 megawatts rooftop solar project expected to generate about 26 gigawatts of power per year will be significant to Ghana's energy mix. The $30 million project by Helios Solar Company of LMI Utilities, a subsidiary of LMI Holdings, started in April this year and is expected to be completed by the first quarter of 2024. It will be the largest in Africa and second in the world. Speaking after a visit to the facility at the Tema-Free Zones Enclave, Dr. Puku-Prempeh said the project will drive Ghana's industrialization agenda.
Areas we have our 10% of our energy generation mix coming from solar. So this is going to be a significant part of that. Purely private sector led, Ghanaian led, IIC supported industry. No sovereign guarantees and government guarantees and PCOAs and things to the central government. We had to change the policy, or we have to lift the embargo on embedded energy generation to support the private sector to do what they've done. And I'm glad that somebody is taking advantage of policy. And that's the whole point of policy. Policy is to address the needs and fill the gaps that are in the system to promote the well-being and the welfare of Ghanaians.
Energy Minister Dr. Matthew Opoku Prempeh speaking there. Meanwhile, the General Manager of LMI Utilities, Engineer Matthew Sedo Akati, touched on the impact of the solar project on the country's carbon footprint.
For Ghana, we are very good when it comes to the energy sector. There are a lot of expertise in the sector. Renewable energy, yes, has started, but utility scale project like this is not really happening. And we thought that to really make that impact that Ghana needs in terms of its carbon footprint, we need to have very bigger size utility scale projects in order that we have a very good carbon print within our energy generation mix. So this project is the first of its kind in Africa on a single largest rooftop.
On to one of our headline stories. With the aim of roping in about 10 million Ghanaians by 2024, the National Insurance Commission is poised to drive insurance coverage to over 3% with the use of technology. According to the Acting Commissioner of Insurance, Michael Ando, his outfit is developing a sandbox system which will encourage technological innovations. He spoke to Joy Business at the Forum on the New Insurance Act and innovations in the sector.
We have challenges with documentation. We have challenges with reaching people because we know that even here in Accra, it is not easy to reach out to everybody. Challenges about the cost of delivery of insurance. And so these are all areas where technology can come in to make it efficient, make it cheaper, make it easier for us to reach out. And especially when you go into the informal sector, that is the sector that is least covered. But if you deploy appropriate technology, it's going to make it very easy and very fast to reach out to them.
Michael Andor is the Acting Commissioner of the National Insurance Commission. To some other stories, members of Fair Trade Ghana Network are calling on the Ministry of Lands and Natural Resources, Cocoa Board, and traditional leaders of the current 6 cocoa growing regions in Ghana to collaborate in declaring all cocoa growing areas as no-go zones for mining and other negative environmental practices. Speaking on the sidelines of the Fair Trade Awareness Creation event, President of the network, Florence Blankson, reiterated the threat illegal mining poses to the sustenance of Ghana's cocoa sector as well as other production areas. She wants an immediate action to stem the menace.
Fair Trade Ghana Network has been around for a while, but we still think we need to let people know more about fair trade and Fair Trade Ghana Network, what it is to be in fair trade and what the Fair Trade Ghana Network does for its members. We are looking at the government doing a lot for the cocoa members because most of them, their farmlands are being taken over by other developers, and this galamsey, as we all know. If we don't take care, it will get to a time we wouldn't even have farmers into cocoa because they are not benefiting.
The European Union has emphasized its commitment to supporting cities in the country to confront climate change challenges towards sustainable development, aimed at raising urbanization and population growth. According to the EU ambassador to Ghana, Ichad Razali, the EU is spending 40 billion euros globally to address the impact of climate change on local economies. He disclosed this at the EU Climate Diplomacy Week, where 4 mayors from Accra, Tema, Sekondi Takrade, Ningo Prampram and Ewutu Senya East joined forces with the EU to address the pressing issues of climate change.
I had the opportunity to remind that by far the European Union is leading the pack when it comes to climate finance. We are spending 40 billion euros in terms of climate funding worldwide, meaning funding as well developing countries to meet adaptation and mitigation activities. And as the European Union, we are cutting by 55% our emission by 2030, which is a key driver as well to mitigate climate change, and which is a call for other large economies to join the effort.
It's now time for your pension tip on Money Lab.
Hello and welcome to Money Lab. My name is Kofi Poli, Chief Operating Officer of People's Pension Trust. We are still on our pension tidbits on Money Lab. In our last episode, we looked at how to plan and retire comfortably in your old age. Today, we are going to give tidbits on how to continuously monitor your pension plan. One of the things you want to do, and it's very key, is to ensure that you have been registered under the scheme. So for example, if it is tier 1, you must ensure that you have a SNIT number, or now that SNIT is using the Ghana identification number as the state number. You must ensure that you have given it to your employer, and your employer is using it to pay contributions on your behalf. If it is tier 2, you must make sure that again you have been registered under the scheme. Thank you once again for joining us.
And that's it for the Joy Business Report. Before we go, the EcoBank salary account is a special account designed for workers of all income brackets desirous of receiving their salaries through EcoBank. With the EcoBank salary account, you are guaranteed all the benefits of a normal savings or current account plus many more. EcoBank salary account gives workers free life insurance cover of up to 10,000 cedis, 24/7 access to cash and e-banking services, internet and mobile banking services, high interest on savings, no minimum balance, ability to save through the EcoBank Save as you spend, a unique feature that helps customers to save and invest. Remember, the insurance policy covers death, permanent or temporary disability, critical illness, hospitalization, retrenchment, and more. Savings or current account holders at EcoBank do not have to close their existing accounts to enjoy the numerous benefits of the EcoBank salary account. Just ask your branch to switch your existing account to the EcoBank salary account. Non-EcoBank account holders should approach any EcoBank branch and ask for the EcoBank salary account. Switch your salary account today and enjoy amazing benefits at EcoBank. Call EcoBank toll free on 0800 003 225 wherever for further details. EcoBank, the Pan-African Bank. Ignition is next with Sammy Forsen. Do enjoy. I am Pius Kujubaka. Have a lovely afternoon.